Three-body problem. I think I just made Kadish kind of explain what happens. But basically, it's an alien invasion TV show.
Yeah.
But the aliens will be here in 400 years because they're going at 1% of light speed from their previous planet.
But they're already on the attack.
But they're already on our... Yeah, they've got quantum computers floating around the planet, just mucking things up.
They're folding some space.
They're doing weird shit. None of it makes any sense. Yeah. Our resident smart person, Dr. Target, has poked holes in everything about it. But besides that, it's actually a pretty fun show.
It's an alien invasion story based off of a series of very popular novels from a Chinese science fiction author. It's based off of a trilogy. We've been talking about this show for like the past 3 or 4 episodes. We reviewed the first 5 episodes in last week's podcast, and now we're going to review the entire season and spoilers.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, you don't want it spoiled, just fast forward to the next chapter.
I do want to start by saying that going back to the opening of this show is so brutal and just shines this horrible, horrible light on communist China. And you're just watching this, and you're like, oh my God. Like, it makes you really realize how brutal communism can be at its worst. And it's like they're on stage, and they've got the actor who played Father June from Father June from Warrior.
Yeah.
Perry
Young.
I think I can't remember his last
Perry
name.
Young.
Yeah, Perry. He's on stage. He's a physicist, and the Communist Party is just like, you are not allowed to believe in science. Your science is bullcrap. And this is just ragging on. He's got a dunce cap on, and they're beating the living shit out of him.
He's just like, this is one of the fundamentals to this theory, and I'm a theorist. And and they're just.
And his wife turns on him, which was brutal too. She's like, "Oh, I've realized the error in my way," and she kills her husband essentially. I mean, the blood's on her hand.
They made her do it.
I know they made her do it, but she had no spine to fight back. She was just like, "Oh, I give up."
Jude would sell me out in a second.
100%.
Yeah. Live or die.
We got a kid to take care of. One of us has to live.
Yeah, but the story follows. It's kind of like a Ned Stark and Arya Stark scenario here, with the daughter's in the crowd watching her father be beaten to death and killed, and that daughter goes on to become a very important player in the whole entire TV show.
Fucks up the whole.
But
world.
she's the one who contacts the aliens, and they warn her. They're like, "Don't contact us." Yeah. Whatever pacifist was on the other side.
One good alien up there, and he's like, "Yo,
there's one.
You don't want our attention. Just don't respond." And she's like, "Nah, I'm gonna fuck up this planet."
Yeah.
These humans suck.
Yeah. Basically,
we're a virus. We need eradicated.
Come and destroy us, please.
Hack the planet.
Yeah, hack the planet. Yeah, she got the one pacifist on the line, and she was like, "No, I want people with warmongers on get some people over here to blow up the planet." So she starts this whole ball rolling, and I guess it kind of becomes this weird cultish, religious sect that worships the aliens that are on their way. And they have means of communication now that are fairly instantaneous, if not instantaneous.
Yeah, they're instantaneous.
With scientific bullshit, blah 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 facts. But they're communicating with these aliens, and the aliens become like this little cult's god, and they start doing all these weird things like eco-terrorism.
They have to prep the world.
Yeah, they're prepping the world for the alien invasion, yada yada. And then there's this other force who finds out about this, and they're trying to prevent the aliens from coming and taking over. And that's kind of the really meat of the whole thing.
And the aliens, the premise of the show is the aliens are trying to stifle our technology.
Yeah, they're trying to slow us down.
They're killing all the people that are smart, making them commit suicide so that our technology doesn't advance beyond their own by the time they get here in 400 years.
Yeah. Because
if that was able to be done, then we would be able to stop them before they get here.
Right.
Due to our technological
advancement.
Track.
Yeah. Because from
which is kind of a cool concept.
From 1900 to 2000, we've advanced hundreds of years for them.
Which is truth.
Which is true. Yeah. We went from the Wright brothers to going into space.
Our technology track is it's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
My grandmother, I think I've said this before. My grandmother saw she went from she literally came over on a covered wagon to the west.
No shit.
To people on the moon.
Your grandmother?
My grandmother.
Yeah, your grandmother was 1930s?
She passed away in the 80s at the age of 88 or something like that.
I think your people were just poor.
So 1900. I think you guys were just poor. That's like World War I. We had cars and shit, bro.
My grandma was, Yeah.
It would have been 1900s if she died at 80.
She came as a little girl in the 1800s, late 1800s.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No shit. Are you that old?
I'm at 54.
I'm sorry.
My dad had me late. He's 86, 84, 85 right now.
That's crazy. Anyway,
yeah.
That's basically the premise of the show. Our goal here today is to whether or not to tell you guys to invest your time in it, I guess, in
Actually,
a way.
my grandmother passed away in her...
Oh, we're still on this. Okay.
In the 70s. I'm sorry. I was 8.
Okay.
So in 1978.
So Jude, I want to get your thoughts first to liven up the conversation a little bit. That was not a dead grandma joke. Sorry.
I don't care. I wasn't close.
No pun intended.
No, good.
Speaking of dead bitches,
Gotta liven up the conversation.
I was just saying, our technology advancement.
It has. Yes, it has.
Insane.
Anyway, so Jude, I don't know if you were into the show to begin with, or if Kate just dragged you along. How do you feel about now that you finished the whole season?
He dragged me along a bit, but I was like, I'll give it one episode, and if I hate it, I'm gonna check out. I didn't hate it. I think it's fine. He went bananas over it, and I don't really get the hype. I like it. I think it's fine. I'm not super like, sci-fi, but I love like alien stuff. I think that stuff is really intriguing. I have some problems with it. I hate the character of Augie. Ultimately, I'm just like, yeah, it's fine.
Augie's like the self-righteous character in the group where she just feels like she's better than everybody.
So flip-flop wish-wash.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm ride or die until I'm not. And now I'm out. And fuck you guys. And you guys, you don't even know who your boyfriend is. Oh, I'm back on the job, guys.
Yeah.
I hate her.
Well,
I hate her.
Fun fact, that actress who played Augie was in Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
She was?
Yeah.
Oh.
She played the daughter of like the guy who was making Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah,
like,
she's
whatever.
a bad guy.
Yeah, okay.
She's a bad
All
guy.
right, I remember
Long
that scene.
hair.
Augie is annoying. She can be.
Yeah.
She's smoking hot though, so I don't mind looking at her on
Which
screen.
one was she?
She's the hot one.
She's the one that had the countdown in her eyes.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, that one.
The pretentious science bitch.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got it. The nanotechnology chick.
The one who made the fibers.
We can talk about episode 5 now because we're spoiling this.
Yeah.
So like the first 4 episodes are like just hard setup, just setting up mysteries and setting up the characters and this and that.
I mean,
and for me, it was a bit of like a.
The first 4 episodes are like, ooh, something spooky.
What's going on?
Flashback.
Before we just like get into details, I just want to say
that you love your grandmother.
No. I've come down on this show.
Have you?
I remember last week I felt like I was I enjoyed it, and I did enjoy it, but it hasn't settled well in my brain with me. It actually, we're going to talk about episode 5 here, but episode 5 was the peak of this show for me.
For sure.
And it was a lot of long, boring, pretentious setup and character development and introductions to episode 5. Then some shit happened. And then it just kind of like went back down again into that.
To more pretentious character development.
And, and I wish I had been able to keep up the enthusiasm that I had for this show, but it's gone. I don't have it anymore. And that's not a good sign because I don't really care if I watch a season 2 now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They introduced a couple of interesting things later on in the season that makes me curious what they're going to do with that information in the next season. But I'm kind of with you. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, it's fun. It's interesting, but it drags a bit. I think I need faster pace.
I need more action.
Basically. I need some cool stuff to happen. They kind of drip feed you cool stuff a little bit here and there. Like I said, episode 5 is definitely the peak. There's a big thing that happens, almost like a mid-season finale almost.
Yeah.
Where like something crazy happens. They find, I don't know, you guys want to talk about it, or should I get Kadish's thoughts on this first? Kadish, give your because you're
give us your
I'm getting the impression that you're more hyped about the show than the rest of us.
Yeah, he likes it a lot.
Well, I was expecting to hate this show because I didn't like the book. I don't like Dan Benioff and D.B. Weiss or any of those guys who did the Game of Thrones show. But it's one of those weird situations where basically they took a book that I didn't like and made a TV show that I ended up liking a lot. I'm a sucker for mysteries, and the first 4 episodes of this are kind of like a mystery. There's a big payoff in episode 5 where it's just like, oh shit, like that was a really cool episode. There's also an event that happened in episode 3 that was kind of surprising as well.
Is that the fibers?
No,
that's 5.
Episode 5.
That's 5. Okay.
Episode 3, like Samuel Tarly basically gets killed off.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, and that was like a big shock.
Yeah, I really liked him.
He was one of my favorite characters.
I'm annoyed that they killed him off so quick.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Didn't care.
You didn't care?
No, I'm not invested enough in any of the characters to whether I care or not.
Was he Jack Snack or
if
something
somebody
like that?
dies in episode 3, it's like, gives a shit. It's just like, whatever.
Well, because he was from Game of Thrones, people are like,
Yeah.
oh, he's going to stick around for a while.
Yeah, they Jim Bell Tyson'd his ass.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, the guy from Game of Thrones is going to be in this show for 12 minutes.
Well, the other guy from Game of Thrones is in this show.
Onion Knight.
Yeah, the Onion Knight is like,
Yeah.
I feel like starting to become the main character of the show.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with.
I like his character.
I do too.
He's ruthless.
Yeah. He's like, I've got a job to do and I don't give a shit who I got to knock over to do it.
Yeah.
And that's his mantra through the whole thing. And he uses people. And it's like, it's fun to watch him as like this all-powerful government entity just use everybody around him, and everybody hates him, but they're also like, yeah, but we need him. And it's that kind of a relationship. That's my favorite part of the show, is watching the Onion Knight just freaking plow over people and get all these scientists to do janky ass shit.
Yeah, him and Benedict Wong. So like, you know, like leading up to episode 5, there's all this like kind of like setup where you're getting to know the characters, you're getting to know the scenario that's going on. We're doing flashbacks so that we find out like what happened to basically get all this stuff in motion. And it's a bit of a slower paced TV show than I think most people were expecting. But because you can binge it, I think it works. Like if this were going week to week, it would have been too slow for like the first 4 episodes. I think it would have lost a lot of people. But because you're able to like binge it and like get through to like the good parts and the revelations and things like that, I feel like it works. And what they did in this adaptation is they actually took a lot of stuff from the 2nd and 3rd books in the series and kind of brought it forward, so that the end of season 1 is actually like kind of setting up stuff that happens in seasons in books 2 and 3. So it's kind of interesting. But the cool thing about the end of this series is basically they find out that the aliens are pretty much omniscient. They're using quantum entanglement to basically get real time, audio and video from pretty much anywhere on the planet. So like they can basically spy on us without us being able to stop it. So anything that we come up with to prevent them from coming and taking over the planet, they can prepare for. And so that brings up the scenario. It's like, okay, well, how do you defend against that? And Liam Cunningham's character, the
Onion
Knight guy, he basically says like, well, they can see and hear us, but they don't know what's happening inside our heads. So like anything we think of, they don't know about because we're not projecting it. And so they come up with a program called the Wall Facer program, where they take some of them.
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a wall facer. What?
Well, that's taken right from the book, and it's from like a Buddhist thing where like, when you meditate and you think, you're just like.
So we're gonna get these 3 people, and we're just gonna let them think with impunity until they come up with something cool.
But then they can't tell us what they come up with.
So, get out of here.
And then,
That's the dumbest fucking thing.
One of the what are they? The Georgetown 5 or something?
The Oxford 5.
Oxford 5. So one of the characters from the Oxford 5, Saul, is one of these wall facers. And his character was really annoying for me up until I think the last episode. And all he did was like smoke pot. The relationships between these 5 characters was really fucking annoying, because there's like the 2, Augie and Saul are fucking, but they're not telling anyone. They don't like each other. They're constantly judging each other and not showing up for each other. And like all he wants to do is get high and also fuck other girls. I already said what I hate about Augie, but then Will is in love with what's her name, the other girl, the scientist girl.
Lady.
Yeah, Jin.
Yeah.
He's in love with her, but like he has this like legacy of quitting and giving up on things that he's fucking annoying. And so we get to the end, and Saul is they've chosen Saul as one of the wall facers. And basically you can do anything, say anything. No one can question your authority. You are the guy in charge of everything from now on until you figure out this alien problem. And he goes, no, thank you. And they go, okay.
Wink.
And this is the funniest thing that has happened in the whole show.
I think it's a psyop.
The whole episode, he's like, I reject this. They're like,
Because
okay. Wink.
they made the aliens too powerful in the show.
Yeah.
So they have to find a way around God, basically. I mean, essentially, that's what this computer is that the aliens sent. It's essentially God. It looks and sees everything. But the other thing, too, is like, if they just want to knock us out so they can come and take our planet, they already can do that.
Right.
There's no, like, at this point, there's no reason for them to, like, stealthily move around. They showed the entire planet who they were. Everybody knows they're coming. And they can make you see things that aren't there.
If they're already making people kill themselves, why not just make everybody
kill themselves?
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem I have with the show, is they've made the aliens so overwhelmingly powerful that it doesn't make any sense at all that they're worried about our technology.
Yeah.
Just wipe us off the face of the planet and show up with a blank slate and take over
I'm really looking forward to when the mothership shows over the Atlantic Ocean and these buttholes start appearing.
And then we finally meet Jim Bell Tyson again.
Yeah, Jim Bell Tyson's on the planet. Yeah,
I can easily put these two shows in the same thing.
They're getting to that point.
Well, I love the fact that you remember everybody's names. For somebody who didn't like this show, you remember I don't remember any of their names.
I got Cancer Guy,
Weed Guy,
Asian chick, bitchy scientist lady,
and
I don't know their names either.
Those work also,
because you know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
Right. Onion Knight and Asian detective, Asian chick's boyfriend who likes to murder people.
Oh, that guy, Raj.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, Raj, yeah.
Raj is a douchebag too.
Yeah.
Well,
and don't forget the Wonger.
And Brain. I'm calling him Brain.
Yeah, Will. So basically, there are a couple storylines that they brought up into season 1 that are from the other 2 books. The first one is that Will, who's dying of cancer, basically volunteers to have his brain harvested and shot towards the aliens at 1% the speed of light so that they can reconstruct him and
sign me up.
make first contact. That's from book 3, I believe. And then the wall facer thing is the big story of book 2, and they brought that up. And I do like how they did it because the Saul character, he's like supposedly the smartest of the Oxford 5.
He's just a stoner.
But he just lacks ambition, and so like he just wants to smoke weed and bang hot chicks and stuff like that.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah, exactly. and so like when he gets named as a wall facer, and there are only 3 in the world. In the books there are 4, but in the TV show they only chose 3, and he's one of the 3. And he's like, "Whoa! Like I didn't want any of this," and everyone's just like, "Yes, sir." and so like no matter what he does, everyone just thinks that it's part of his plan to defeat the aliens.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's really funny, and people keep trying to assassinate him. He's like, "Dude, I don't want anything to do with this."
He's like, I just. You know what would really help us defeat the aliens?
Weed.
Go ahead.
But he was also really good friends with Will. And so like when they shoot Will's brain into space, they have this thing where the nanotechnology that, what's her name, created?
Jin?
No, the
Augie.
So the nanotechnology that Augie created, they made a solar sail with. And when they launch Will's brain into space, they unfurl this sail, and it goes by these nuclear bombs that when they explode, the force of the explosion propels the solar sail so that it goes faster and faster and faster with each explosion. But something happens where basically like one of the cords holding the solar sail to Augie's brain breaks off. Not Augie's brain, Will's brain breaks off. And because of that, he misses like the rest of the bombs, and he just
flies off into space. They totally biff the whole freaking mission.
Like, oh, okay.
Oh, I guess he's gone.
Oh
now.
no!
Your best.
Bye.
It's gonna come back as V'ger.
Have fun in space.
V'ger,
the Voyager.
You're actually not far.
I knew it. When they did that, I'm like, oh, he's gonna float out in space for like an eon, and he's gonna come back as some omniscient friggin' machine.
There's a giant machine cloud.
A giant machine brain cloud.
Send the Enterprise.
This guy who almost died from cancer came back.
He comes back as Oz.
Oh god.
But we also got Tatiana, who was like the head assassin of the group that wants the aliens to come.
That bitch. I hate her too.
And so like she kind of got removed after episode 4 or 5, something like that. And she was just kind of like chilling out in this trailer in the middle of the wilderness. And the aliens brought her back, and she's going to lead a group called the Wall Breakers, whose mission is to basically defeat the wall facers in season 2.
This is the crazy cult chick?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A lot of these storylines just sound like when you're in like 4th grade and you decide to like make we're in a gang. We're called the Wall Facers. Oh yeah?
Yeah, we're the Wall Breakers.
I'm in a gang too. We're the Wall Breakers. And you're like, oh, damn it.
God, they still are.
That's a better name.
What happens if you drill a hole in the wall and stick things through it?
Are you the wall drillers?
He's the wall fucker.
You just put a glory hole in the wall.
The glory holders. They're the third faction.
Yeah, the third faction.
Yeah.
It's
a religious organization.
Sure.
It's
the glory
it's the Holy Glory Holders.
Holy Glory Holders.
Terrible.
Let us pray to our God.
Why do you come up with this stuff? What's wrong with it?
But in the show, so basically leading up to episode 5, Liam Cunningham is trying to figure out, okay, like we know that this billionaire has direct contact with the aliens. We need the data from their ship in order to find out, who the aliens are, what their purpose is, all this stuff. But we can't get on the ship to get this data without them purging it first and foremost. So we need like a way to sneak attack. And what they do is they get Augie to create microfibers, like nanofibers, and string them in a fence across like this the Panama Canal as like the ship that all these alien apologists are on, basically. And the fibers are so fine that they can cut through anything. And so with the ship moving through this fiber fence, it just starts slicing everything.
It's like taking a hot wire through cheese,
Yeah.
It was
slices right through
probably one of the best scenes I've seen on TV.
It was a cool scene, but here's the thing.
Fucked up. Because you can't even see the wires. You just see like a human being. Like,
just like, bleh. It's like that scene from Cube,
Yeah.
I really liked
Yes.
when all the dumb kids died. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty harsh.
It was pretty cool.
There's like a nursery in there, and it's just like slicing
like
a baby leg with a little pink shoe on it, and it was like, oh god.
Yeah. You found a baby leg with a baby shoe.
And there's no reason why Augie should have been down there on ground fucking zero, walking through the rubble.
I have a problem with their whole premise with this, because originally they're like, well, we can't blow it up because it might damage the thing that we need, the most important thing in the world that we need, and we can't send troopers in there because they might shoot somebody and they might destroy this. Let's slice the whole thing up in little tiny pieces. Like, that's not any better, dude.
No.
Like, that was a worse plan.
Yeah.
Did you see that thing?
Have they heard of a commando raid with like sarin gas?
That's what I'm saying. Like, they could have gassed the whole thing. Just, wait, well, all died and you could have just walked in the ship.
Have you heard of chloroform?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's a million different ways they could have attacked this, but they decided to slice it like a block of cheese.
Yeah.
And just be like, whoa.
That's pretty cool.
Listen, I love cheese. But this was uncalled for.
This was taken right from the book.
Of course.
But in the books, the character that Augie plays, who's actually a Chinese man in the books, it was his idea. It was like, this was his solution on how to stop this boat and get this information, stuff like that. But in the show, Augie becomes like, she gets like PTSD, and she's like, United States is fascist.
Yeah, pretty much.
She becomes a goth chick.
I killed people.
You guys are a bunch of sheep.
You
don't even know.
Everybody's like, you understand that if we didn't kill these people, they would have murdered everybody on the planet. It doesn't matter. It was wrong. Like, shut up.
But the big climax of episode 5 is basically once they get this drive and they figure out who the aliens are and what their purpose is, which is invading Earth, the aliens reveal what's called the Sophon, which is a proton that has a quantum computer etched into it, and that they control it through quantum entanglement.
Gobbledygook.
It's just word vomit.
But the aliens reveal themselves to the entire planet, and they basically say, you are bugs.
Yeah. We've been watching you this whole time.
And they are correct.
Yeah, absolutely. They're right. I think they should have played that scene from The Matrix on the big screens across the world. Just had Agent Smith just be like, humans are a virus. That whole scene, just play it on loop for everybody. And then evenally we'll just have to
I'm
listen.
interested to know what Dr. Target was poking holes in.
I'd have to read his text.
Do you want to read his text?
I don't know. It's really long. I'll just show it. I'll just show it to you.
I'll freaking read it.
I'll freaking read it.
Freaking lasers.
Freaking laser beams. Okay, so in the beginning of the show, this woman commits suicide by jumping into like a Professor X orb with water at the bottom. He says you don't build I don't know how to say this, Chernikov detector, a water thing that she jumped into, for See, this is I'm too
He says
dumb.
you don't build a Chernikov detector, the water thing that she jumped into, for neutrino detection.
Thank you.
Next to a particle accelerator, we build those detectors as far from anything as we can to avoid interference.
As if he's the one out there building it. That's pretty badass.
Well, I think he meant scientists. If physics was going crazy all over the world, it would be public really quick. Too many people are involved, and the press publish stories about even the slightest oddities. Scientists don't tend to draw conclusions from graphics with no data. Like with their particle physics simulation, they were looking at, we would need to see numbers and analysis, not a pretty 3D rendering.
Right.
Using a visual device to aim the satellite dish at the sun is beyond ludicrous. They already just told you that it takes light 8 minutes to get from the sun to the earth. So by definition, you're not aiming at the sun.
You're aiming at where it was.
You're aiming at where the sun was 8 minutes ago, not where it is now. Additionally, by the time your signal got there, the sun would be another 8 minutes along in its journey. A civilization that can build interstellar fleet could either terraform another world or just live in space or even wandering Earth it.
Yeah.
By putting major engines on the planet and just moving it.
Just move the planet.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree with him. Like the whole idea, and I think I talked about this in the last episode, the whole idea that this civilization couldn't start their own because their planet was in too much flux and it was like getting destroyed every couple hundred years.
Yeah.
They're not going to build a fleet of
They never would have had the time to advance.
They never would have had the time to do that.
So are we calling this bullshit in this entire series?
Yeah, the whole series is bullshit. But if you like sci-fi, I mean, sci-fi is mostly bullshit anyway. We like Star Trek. That's mostly bullshit.
Science is just your best guess.
It's just theories. You don't know if the Earth is round. You've never been up there.
Science. It's all fake.
Took that from Tom.
We live in a simulation.
Yeah.
I will say that, because there's such a lack of science fiction content out there, this scratched the itch for me.
Sure.
I found the show to be much better than I was expecting it to be. And I'm interested to see where they take it next season.
Was it Nick who said, which is better? Was it Invasion or this movie? Or what was the comparison that he made? I saw his comment just a second ago pop up. Monarch or this show? I would pick this show.
Yeah.
Monarch was just it was tough. Yeah, no, I didn't like Monarch at all.
I hated Monarch.
Did you like Monarch better than this?
I think I did.
Really?
I think, this show is like, it's falling off a precipice for me.
It's going downhill.
The farther I'm away from it, from watching it, the worse I feel like it was in my head. I don't know why.
If you want to get sci-fi blue-balled, go watch Peripheral on Amazon. It's a great TV show that they did not renew for season 2. And I was like, God damn, it was so freaking good.
I can't deny the production value.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and what they were trying to do with this thing. It
was like $20 million an episode. So, it looks really pretty.
And it had its moments, but it's slowly moving into that pretentious jerk freaking category of a television show to me. And I don't care if I watch season 2 at this point. So.
My curiosity has been piqued. Yeah. There's a couple of things where I'm like, okay, but I need the next season to be like go harder. Go harder on the sci-fi. Because they're putting somebody in cryo sleep.
I want to see an alien.
And he's only going to wake up once a week.
Once every 100 years.
Yeah, no, was it 1 week out of every year, I think he said, right?
Once every...
Was it every 100?
Was it every year?
No, the Onion Knight basically said
1 week a year.
He's going to freeze himself every year and then come out once a week just to make sure nobody's fucking anything up.
Yeah.
Okay.
That plan
visit his dog.
That plan's going to go to hell. I like that idea though.
Yeah.
They're going to string somebody along throughout the entire series, which is supposedly going to take 400 years.
Don't they have to do that with the wall facers too? Because how do they...
Yeah, how do they plan for something?
How do they plan for something that's happening in 400 years?
I also don't understand the concept of like, okay, you're going to think about a solution to this problem, but you're not going to tell anybody about it. And you can just do whatever you want.
Well, so here's the thing about the wall facers. So they learn that the aliens don't understand the concept of deception or lying.
Right.
And so basically the entire idea behind the wall facers is that they can make decisions that are deceptive.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just figured it out.
Nice.
So Saul,
deception.
The wall.
They made him a wall facer just to muck things up.
This show's gonna go 400 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in 400 years, before Saul dies, they're gonna take his brain, okay, and they're gonna put him in some kind of like stasis thing, and he's gonna turn into Dr. Theopolis from Buck Rogers in the 20th century. So 400 years from now, he's gonna be on a fucking
an orb
brown plate thing.
Beady.
Walks around, hanging around his neck.
Yeah, no shit.
Well, so the thing about Saul is that so he had a meeting with what's her name? The old Chinese lady who started everything.
That bitch.
That
Yeah,
bitch.
yeah.
I don't know her
You
name.
was something.
So
I cannot say her name.
So she was the one who initially contacted the aliens, and she was the head of the group of scientists that were going to welcome them to take over Earth. And he has a meeting with her at her daughter's
Flat.
apartment,
Gravestone.
So he has a meeting with her, and she tells him a joke, and it's a very long, drawn out, unfunny joke, and Saul doesn't get it. But the aliens understand that she communicated something to him, which could lead to them being defeated. Which is why he was chosen as a wall facer, but it was also why the aliens view him as a threat, because he has this knowledge that she passed on to him that he could potentially unlock to prevent them from taking over the planet. So he is their biggest fear right now, which is why they're trying to get people to assassinate him and stuff like that.
Why don't they just put images in his head until he kills himself and the problem is solved? They keep trying to assassinate him by normal means. Like, oh, we're going to accidentally hit you with a car and we got a sniper trying to shoot you. You can make people see shit.
Yeah.
Make him see a hallway and have him walk down it off a cliff.
Just put a countdown in his brain
until he dies.
He can't stand seeing it anymore.
Yeah, the premise is jacked. The whole thing is.
They
really messed up when they made the aliens God.
The glory holers need to get together and rescue
Somebody in the chat said the glory holier.
Yeah. Speaking of glory holers, I want to mention a couple of super chats that we got.
I just want to say that Smitty's in the chat.
Smitty's here? Oh, dude, this show is just as bad as Invasion. No, it's not quite that bad. This is a little bit better. It makes a little bit more sense. Invasion makes zero sense.
Does it? I mean, does this show make more sense?
It makes more sense than Invasion. Yeah, that's a really low bar, though.
At least we got.
It's way more.
At least we got some aliens.
Yeah, we don't. There's not going to be any aliens in the show for like 4 seasons.
We have virtual reality
samurai
VR
chick.
headset shit.
Yeah,
yeah. That's kind of a cheap ass way to get around aliens, don't you think?
You fuck that bitch says for $1.99. Where can I find 3 Body Problem? It's on Netflix, bro. Catch up.
I'm so glad.
Thank you so much for the tune. $1.99. Appreciate it. Wendy Hunter says, did you see how much each episode cost? $20 million. They got to stop spending this much money on TV shows, man. It doesn't make any sense.
That's why there's only like 8 episodes.
Yeah. Just cut that in half and make double the episodes.
Yeah, make us get 20 episodes.
Get a good season, William Forbes, what's up, dude? He's in the house. He says, sup, SMP? V'ger. Had me laughing. Y'all are a trip as always. Love it. Listening at work, so I may not chat much. Vader's third faction had me crying laughing. Yeah, man. The glory holers.
That's right.
Love it.
Speaking of William Forbes, we should give him a shout out for being our top contributor.
Yeah, top contributor to the channel for Tuesday's show, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Good deal, man. Thank you so much. Can't wait to meet you in person, too. You're coming out to Vegas next week. Shit, is that next week?
Yep.
That's next week. It's coming up quick. We got 5 gifted memberships from Major Chai Chai. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. If you got gifted a membership, hang tight. You will be directed to the members only live stream directly after this one.
Members only live stream right after this one. So.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Cool. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Let's do final thoughts on 3 Body Problem. You're pretty cold on it.
Yeah, pretty cold.
You're not. Are you interested if they pop out season 2?
Here's the thing.
Are you
season 2 is not going to come out for probably 2-3 years. I'm not going to give a shit.
Yeah,
by the time this thing comes out.
That's another problem that they have.
Yeah, they wait too long between seasons.
Mm-hmm.
If it came out like a normal television show, I'd probably stick with it. We'll see. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not going to watch it because you guys will probably make me.
Well,
but
here's the difference: is like we're all pretty amped for the House of the Dragons coming out.
Yeah,
and that season took like 2 years to make,
show.
right?
But that's the difference.
Yeah, but
it's good.
It's in a universe that we're already on board with.
Yeah, they're trying to introduce us to this new hijinks, and it's just like, I don't know, man. I'm cooled off on it. I finished the season. I wasn't super impressed. Episode 5 is definitely the peak, and then after that, it just kind of flatlines. It's got some interesting concepts that I'm kind of curious where they're going to take it, but I don't know if they're enough to get me really.
I don't know. If,
I'm not going to go read the books.
I don't know if I care enough about some communist Chinese sci-fi author's take on the world. to put that much effort into it.
Gary says season 2 in 400 years.
Yeah.
Jude, how about you?
I think it's fine. I think it's a good show. It's a good sci-fi show. The science is real science-y. So it's a, okay, I'm just going to trust the process kind of show. You know what I mean? The tease that Will might come back as V'ger,
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And that makes me curious about where they're going to go with it. I think it's fine. If I never saw season 2, I'd probably forget about it.
Okay. All right. Kadish, how about you? Are you in?
Yeah, I was very impressed with this season. I didn't think I was going to like it. I thought the show was going to be really bad. Turned out I was very entertained. Very much enjoyed all the changes they made from the books because I didn't like the books. And I'm interested to see where they go in season 2. So we'll actually see if Netflix ponies up for a season 2. They usually just do 3 and done, but everyone's saying that they have a 4-season plan.
Of course they do.
Kind of mapped out. So
Benioff and Weiss got to make that money. All right, that's it. I'm kind of cold on this show. I'm kind of with Jude. It's decent. It's not horrible. It's not like my eyes didn't roll in the back of my head every time I watched an episode, but I don't know if it's enough to really get me into it.
So you have to choose Foundation, Invasion, 3-body problem.
Foundation.
3-body problem.
No, Foundation, 10,000%. Foundation's way cooler and like weird.
I'm with you.
And weird. The Emperor,
I'm with you.
dude, the Emperor makes that whole show.
Yeah.
That whole like 3rd generation Emperor thing that they have set up is so interesting.
I'm happy Fallout's coming out soon.
That'll be cool.
So
That'll be cool.
that'll be fun to watch.
Team Glory Holier.
Glory Holers.
Holers.
Wait, Glory Holers?
Glory Holers.
Holiers.
I don't Holers. Sounds dirtier. Glory Holers.
Glory Holders. Those goddamn. I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those glory holders.
We take out both humanity and the aliens.
That's right.
Like, Zoink, Scoob, do you want to be a glory holder?
Let's go.
I raped them with love.
Well, this guy's talking about rape. I don't know what to do, Scoob. All right, that's it for 3-Body Problem. Go check it out at your own will. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You can do whatever you want. Hey, folks, if you like this video, be sure to watch this one next. And if you want to see the full episode of this podcast, click right here.